Hello, everybody. It is good to see you guys. Just a few comments before I open it up for questions. I had a chance to meet with some of our nation's top business leaders this morning and this afternoon, and we had an extraordinarily productive conversation about some of the challenges facing our economy and the role that a robust private sector can play in meeting those challenges. This summit was part of a broader dialogue that I've been having in recent weeks and months with Americans who occupy different corners of our economy. But no matter who I've met with, whether it was the business leaders today or the labor leaders I met with last week, my message has been the same. It's that the American economy is at its strongest when we have a common set of values that it reflects, when we reward not just wealth, but also work and the workers who create it. Because what we've relearned in painful fashion over the last few months is that Wall Street can't thrive so long as Main Street is struggling. So to strengthen our long-term economic competitiveness, a topic that I'll be addressing in depth tomorrow in Pittsburgh, we need to build an economy that lifts up all Americans. Now, if we're serious about making America more competitive in the 21st century, we also have to finally solve our energy crisis. I know that this is something that John McCain talked about in a speech earlier today, and I want to once again repeat that I commend Senator McCain for having done more than some in his party when it comes to climate change. Unfortunately, there remains a real difference between us on energy reform, and I think it's important for the American people to understand that difference. Uh-oh. Time and time. I haven't gotten to the funny parts yet, actually. Yeah, exactly. Time and time again, when he's had the chance, Senator McCain has opposed real solutions to the energy crisis. When I was reaching across the aisle to build support for a plan to double our fuel efficiency standards, Senator McCain was voting against biofuels, against solar power, against wind power, and against an energy bill that his own campaign co-chairman called the biggest legislative breakthrough we've had since he's been in the Senate. Now, that bill certainly wasn't perfect. It contained irresponsible tax breaks for oil companies that I consistently opposed and that I will repeal as president. But it also represented the largest ever investment in renewable sources of energy, and that's why I supported it. But it's not just that there's a difference between what we've done in the past. It's that there's a big difference between what we're proposing for the future. And while I'm glad Senator McCain is talking about energy on the campaign trail, and I do believe that the only way we're going to solve this problem is by bringing the parties together, what Senator McCain has proposed so far is not a serious plan to solve the problem. He wants a gas tax holiday that will save you, the American consumer, at most 30 cents a day for 3 months, and that's only if the oil companies don't just increase their prices and pocket the savings themselves, which is what they did here in Illinois when we tried the same thing. Senator McCain wants to open up our coastlines to drilling, a proposal that his own top economic advisor admitted won't provide any short-term relief at the pump. It's a proposal that George Bush's administration says will not provide a drop of oil for at least a decade, and by the time the drilling is fully underway in 20 years, our own Department of Energy says that the effect on gas prices will be, quote, insignificant. Just today, we heard from the head of the government office whose mission is to provide an unbiased analysis of energy policy, and he said that the idea won't affect gas prices much. Now, Senator McCain noted the other day that the idea on coastal drilling that he and President Bush have offered polls well, and I acknowledge that. Perhaps that's why Senator McCain changed his position. But what we need right now are not appealing but meaningless gimmicks designed to get politicians through the next election, gimmicks that offer no real relief to struggling motorists. What we need now is a serious national commitment to meet our responsibility to our country and the next generation, a serious and sustained commitment to transition our economy from our dependence on oil to clean, affordable sources of energy. What we need now is to make America the world leader in the development of these fuels and environmental technology. And that's what I'm offering. I wish I could just make gas prices come down on their own. No president can. What I can do and what I will do is push for a second stimulus package that will send out another round of rebate checks to the American people. What I will do as president is tax the record profits of oil companies and use the money to help struggling families pay their energy bills. I will provide a $1,000 tax cut that will go to 95% of all workers and their families in this country. I will fully close the loophole that allows corporations to engage in unregulated speculation that artificially drives up the price of oil. That's what we'll do in the short term to provide some relief to the American people. Most importantly, though, is what I will do in the long term to solve this crisis. When America wanted to send a man to the moon, we put the full resources of our federal government behind it and spent over $100 billion in today's dollars. Well, I want to make an even bigger commitment to free this nation from its addiction to oil. And that's why I will invest $150 billion over the next 10 years in alternative sources of energy like wind power, solar power, and advanced biofuels, to invest in the next generation of plug-in hybrids, investments that will create up to 5 million new green jobs that pay well and can't be outsourced, and that will create billions of dollars in new business. That's the kind of leadership we need to realize the promise of clean energy for our economy, our safety, and our security, and that's the kind of leadership I will offer as President of the United States.